Time to put on that party hat, get ready to rock old school style, because we are going back and listening to a first listen. That's right, you're watching the first listens. Judas Priest. Judas Priest, I don't think I have ever heard anything from Rocka Rolla, the first album that Judas Priest released, so we are doing first track, first album. I thought that might be fun to go back and check out a lot of bands that I may have missed, or that I have listened to, but I never listened to the first album. So we're doing the first song off the first album, and it is One for the Road. Why would you say to do this? You might have many questions. Shane, why have you never heard this album? I jumped on Stained Glass. British Steel would have been right where I was growing up and going, hell yeah. And, you know, I followed them ever since. Defenders of the Faith, Screaming for Vengeance, and all of that. I don't think I've ever heard anything from Rocka Rolla. And why would you pick the first song? First album, first song. What sense does that make? To me, that is your entrance, right? Hello, we're here to rock. We're here to kick your ass. We're this new band. We're called Judas Priest. And the first taste that you get is that first song. So this gives you an idea of what they're up to. So let's learn about Judas Priest, classic, iconic British, new wave of British heavy metal band. Legendary. Judas Priest have 3,171,110 monthly listeners to the Spotify account. Can you guess the top 5 jammers? Breaking the Law. You've got, and that's got 125 million plays. You got This Is Painkiller. 65 million plays. You got another thing coming, mister. 62 million plays. Living After Midnight. 59 million plays. And a fantastic song. And also, usually they would open their shows with this, Electric Eye. So 2 from Screaming for Vengeance. That's got 36 million plays. We're going to bust into these albums, these legends, these rockers. There's a lot of reissues. And there are some albums probably not listed on here that I did not pay any attention to, and that would be the albums with when Rob Halford went on Walkabout. Rocka Rolla, 1974. That is the album right there that we are doing today. Sin After Sin, 1977. Stained Glass. You got Unleashed in the East. Hellbent for Leather, British Steel. Yes, this is, I heard United, and I said, Mom, will you buy me that? And she said yes. Point of Entry, you got Screaming for Vengeance. I listened to that one summer. It was Master of Puppets, Screaming for Vengeance all the way for a summer. 1982, Defenders of the Faith. Love that album. Priest Live, Ram It Down. I saw them on Ram It Down. Or no, I saw them on Painkiller Tour. 1990, Sad Wings of Destiny, Hero Hero, Demolition, Angel of Retribution, Nostradamus. Remember, he would dress up in that outfit and say, I am Nostradamus. Not much that I know from those albums. Redeemer of Souls, Battle Cry, Turbo 30th remaster, and I am a fan of Turbo. People want to slap my face when I say that. And then the fantastic, amazingly kick-ass Firepower from 2018. I was like, they still got it. 48 years later, they still have it. I think they're getting ready to celebrate 50 years as a band, minus KK, which they should get him back in. But now we look into related artists. Who's going to be on this list? You know them all, right? Dio, Saxon, Accept, Heaven and Hell, Halford, Iron Maiden, Motorhead, the mighty fantastic King Diamond, Wasp, Diamond Head, Bruce Dickinson, Rainbow. So that is the related artist for Judas Priest. Even though we're going back in the old schooly days, we have a photo here of the band as it is now, and I see Glenn Tempton over there, and Richie Faulkner and Rob Halford, and they're standing there. They're wearing their leather outfits, and they got their shadows on the wall, and Rob Halford's got his hands up on Richie's shoulder like he's going to whisper, "I'm going to tickle your booty," and they're also saying, "Hey, come at me." Judas Priest were one of the most influential heavy metal bands of the 1970s, spearheading the new wave of British heavy metal. Yes, late in the decade. Decked out in leather and chains, the band fused the gothic doom of Black Sabbath with riffs and speed of Led Zeppelin, as well as adding a vicious two-lead guitar attack. In doing so, they set the pace for for much popular heavy metal from 1975 until 1985, as well as laying down the groundwork for the speed and death metal of the 1980s. So there you have that. This bio could go on forever and ever and ever, but we're not going to get into that now. We're going to go back and check this jam out. So we go into the albums here. We cruise on down to the very, very first one. I think this is when Rob Halford still had long hair and was wearing like flowery moo-moo shirts. And if you're ready, I'm ready. I've never heard this song, One for the Road, and it's our first time ever hearing of a band called Judas Priest. You ready? Magic titty in hand. I'll give you a taste. I'll take a taste. Listen to this song together. Here we go. There we go. I just need something to cue it up. Jesus, what are these guys? Kind of flower power? Wow, this is like groovy stoner laid back. There he is. You almost put this kind of groovy kind of sharing a load. Very groovy. Voice sounds great. Yeah, bluesy-ish kind of vibe. Is this kind of like Bread or something like that? Definitely taking cues from like late 60s. And it does have that kind of Sabbathy swing, Bill Ward kind of swinginess, you know? Definitely not the Judas Priest that I know. Uh-huh. This is about getting him out on the dance floor or something? I mean, it's not bad. Were they doing the trade-offs? Was it KK and Glenn? Put some funky butter on that shit. There's got to be a fader, right? You got to fade this song out. It's whispering. What's his mama? Definitely got some Led Zeppelin-ish feel to it. And you got Harry. Keep on rocking, Judas Priest. I know this is your first album. We're going to get you on out of here. Don't you worry about that. That's a song that you have to fade out. That's a song that you have to fade out. Rocka Rolla. Yeah, that doesn't sound like any of the Judas Priest that I know and love. But it wasn't bad, but it's just like, it's interesting to go back and hear the very beginnings of where they started and what they became, right? Because I don't think they were wearing any spikes or anything like that at this time period. But the most important part of my videos, haven't you heard, is where you get in the comments below and tell me everything you know about this album, about this band. Rocka Rolla. This cover right here that you're seeing, but wasn't there a cover? I want to say a friend had one, and it was a bottle cap. It looked like the Coca-Cola. They might have got sued for that or something. I don't know. All of that can be put in the comments below. But what did you think of that song? Have you ever heard that before? Good, great, fantastic. Shane, let me tell you all about this. I know this album inside and out. Here's my favorite songs from this album. Here's what I do. I like this more than what they're doing now. You like the old school stuff. Did you happen to see them back in this time period? Some 40-something years ago. What's your favorite Judas Priest song overall? What's your favorite album overall? And have you ever seen Judas Priest live? I have seen them twice. I want to say I saw them twice live, and it was fantastic both times. Or you could say, not good, not great. I like my new Judas Priest. I like my 40 years worth of Judas Priest, not my 48 years worth of Judas Priest. I'll have none of that. I don't want that. It's not my cup of tea. If I listen to Judas Priest, it'll never be that album. All of that can be put in the comments below, courtesy and kindness if you can. And if you have a hard rock heavy metal special request, you'd like to see it right here on the channel, click that link in the description below. That's all I got for this. Judas Priest.